What is up, people? Matt here again. Most of my previous, a couple of videos have gone by now, and they've all been fairly positive. So I thought I'd do a bit of a negative video for once. Well, not for once. I do negative videos all the time, but I thought I'd do a negative video to break up all the happiness that we all having. So let's talk about this generation of consoles. Now, I know it's not fair to bash the console because it has literally, we are still in the beginning stages. However, that doesn't excuse the amount of the lack of good games and the lackluster games that we are receiving, albeit the games that I own on the PS4 are what I would consider decent games, bar a few. Now, before we get started, I do literally only own 5 actual PS4 physical games. So Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition, Final Fantasy 14 A Realm Reborn, Killzone Shadowfall, Lego The Hobbit, and Battlefield 4. Now, not to say any of those games are bad, except for Killzone Shadowfall, which I think is a pretty poor game. Let's try to get to the source of what is going on with this generation of consoles. So, I've been noticing recently that consoles, the more and more we go on, the more and more it's becoming obvious that exclusives are what is going to sell the consoles. Now, both sides are struggling, it's fair to say. The Xbox One is obviously struggling more so, but they're both struggling regardless, and I think the reasoning is that the exclusives are announced but they just aren't being released. A lot of games are being pushed back to next year. This year is literally titled the year of game delays because all the games are just getting delayed, bar a few. And I think this, although everyone's going to be like, oh, you can't rush perfection, that's fair enough, you can't rush perfection, but no game is perfect. So is it really fair to say that taking their time is going to make a better game? Yes, it will make a better game, but will it make it a game that's worthwhile to pick up? It still might not. Now, the PlayStation 4 does have more it's named a lot more exclusives so far. However, Microsoft seems to be in the habit of buying exclusives of games that aren't naturally exclusives, and I disagree with this strongly. Just because Microsoft hasn't got their own franchise doesn't mean they should go around buying other franchises so no one else can enjoy them. Look at all the commotion and controversy over the new Rise of the Tomb Raider. You know, as I said, Tomb Raider, the reboot, right? It's a good game. Okay, it's a good game. I picked it up on the PS4. So why isn't the second one coming to PS4? Am I just never going to get to play it? Because I might not ever buy an Xbox One, so is that it? I just don't get to play the new Tomb Raider game just because I don't want to buy an Xbox One. That's not fair. If I buy the first one, you expect the next one to be on the same console, or at least the same company's console. So, you know, Microsoft have literally just handed Crystal Dynamics money saying, look, we ain't got nothing, give us your game just so we can have it. And I strongly disagree with this because the only people that are actually benefiting from this are Microsoft. Crystal Dynamics not benefiting from it, Square Enix isn't benefiting from it, PS4 owners not benefiting from it. No one except for Microsoft is benefiting from it because, like it or not, the PlayStation 4 is outselling Xbox One 3-1. Okay? There's like 10 million units of PlayStation 4s have been sold and only 5 million Xbox Ones have been sold. Why would you make the inferior console? Why would you take bribes to put your game on an inferior console? It makes no sense financially or morally. It just doesn't make sense, and this is why this generation is going down the shitter already, because companies are prepared to take bribes, screw their games up, just for the sake of a bit of money. You know, I understand it's not about the gamers, it's not about us. We just give them £40 at a time. Microsoft can give them millions rather, at a time. But still, you why do these companies think it's okay to screw us, the customers, over for the sake of a bit more money? They don't want, obviously they don't want our money, so we're not going to give them our money. That's fine. I mean, I very much doubt that Microsoft gave them more money than they would have got from PlayStation 4 sales of the game, and that's their loss. You know, if the game does decide to come out on the PlayStation 4 eventually down the road, I'll just go pick it up pre-owned, because I don't want my money now, so I'm not going to give them my money then. Simple. So now I've got that out of my system. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.